Well, for more on the Wits protests, we cross now to Hasina Gori, who's been following this story. Thanks very much, Hasina. What's happening where you are?
The visuals you're seeing right now are outside ANC Luthuli House in Johannesburg, where SRC members of Wits, as well as student activists and members of the ANC Youth League and other workers' associations have come out to give their support to the students' protest, as well as calling against the killing of the 35-year-old who was shot by police officers yesterday. Right now, what you're seeing is a squabble by some of the members asking for the members of the media to move from the front to allow for the students to hear the ANC-SG. They've just handed over a memorandum. They protested outside the Johannesburg Central Police Station earlier on, giving a memorandum and opening up a formal complaint against the police for the use of force and rubber bullets against students yesterday as they protested for inclusivity as well as the free education at Wits University. So what we're seeing right now once again is scenes from the streets of Johannesburg as students, activists and workers associations have come out in their numbers to protest the killing of the innocent bystander yesterday in Bloemfontein by police officers. That exclusive footage we saw earlier, in the last 24 hours, showing the police shooting at the 35-year-old and him clutching on his medication packet before he stumbles and then takes his last breath. We're going to take a listen in to what the SABC president is saying right now as they hand over that memorandum.
We're going to request that we pick a student from Wits University who's going to come and read our memorandum of demand to the Secretary General of the ANC. These are not demands of students only, but these are policies of the ANC that need to be put into effective immediately implementation. If these are not put into effect, not only will we be failing the students that sit here today, but we are failing generations to come thereafter. If these are not put into effect, not only are we failing students that are here, but we are failing black lives that are in rural and township areas. We will be failing the future and dreams of this country. So comrades, I'm going to request maximum discipline as we go about this. Comrades, at no point must we deviate from our main cause today. At no point must we find ourselves wanting. At no point must we forget why we came here in the first place. At no point must we forget our program of the day. Amanda! She will come and read it for us.
We're now listening to a student from the Wits University. He's going to be reading out the memorandum of demands of the students to the ANC Secretary General.
It reads as follows. Without compromise, our stance as the SABC remains. We demand that all students should be permitted to register for the 2021 academic year. We have resolved to continue to take it to the picket lines, the streets, until the following demands are met by both SET and DET. Following, no student must be financially excluded in 2021, no fee increment in 2021, the commencement of the academic year to be postponed to the 30th of March in order to equip first-year skills related to computer literacy. The distribution of laptops to all students in need immediately. The removal of the 75% upfront for African international students. Every student who has given a residence offer be permitted to occupy that residence as soon as possible. NSFAS to pay for its beneficiaries by the end of each academic year. In a country where education is a prerequisite for socio-economic and occupational advance, it is an injustice to deny those who want
struggled to hear those demands. Some of them fees for the year, that all people should be allowed to register and not be financially excluded as academic year going to the 13th
are going to allow the Secretary General of the African National Congress to respond to what has just been
the demands. We know that the students have given them till Monday to respond.
Long live the student struggle, long live. Long live. Long live the student struggle, long live. Long live. Forward with radical economic transformation, forward. Forward with radical economic transformation, forward. Forward with socio-economic transformation, forward. Amandla. Matla. Aluta. Let me remind you as students, your struggle is our struggle. Before you are students, you are part of those communities which have nothing. You come from the poor backgrounds. You come from the working class. And that's why the ANC resolved long time ago, 1955, Nasrec, in our election manifesto in 1994, in our election manifesto in 2019. That's why you voted some of our parties. But as students, I must tell you one thing. When you are students, you must all work together irrespective of political parties because your demands are the same. When you are a leader of students in the SRC, you must remember you represent the entire student body. You don't represent your own organization there. And that's how you will actually win this battle. The African National Congress National Working Committee met yesterday because of this crisis. And we discussed and we interacted with the president of the ANC, the president of the country. This morning, the subcommittee of the ANC National Executive Committee met at 8 o'clock, and we have engaged government. I'm sure if the Minister of Higher Education has not spoken, we have directed government to find money and resources for your demands because your demands are genuine demands as students. So definitely from today, government is going to announce, after engaging the African National Congress, because your demands are genuine, you must continue with your demands. You must not think about yourself as individuals, those who have. You must think about those who don't have. And you must make sure and understand that the struggle continues. Don't demobilize people, don't demobilize students. Ensure that you do your work and don't fight only at Wits. Solidarity throughout the country, because your struggle is the same. Make sure, and we have also said to government, please, you can't say UNISA must not take extra students because it's distance learning. So the Minister of Education, government today will actually ensure that your demands are going to be met, because we said education is priority number one. If education is priority number one, you have to reinvest resources as we move on into the future. Without education, we will never build this country. We want to ensure that we transform. So your students and your demands is not my position. It is the ANC position. And any one of the leaders of the ANC who says free basic education is not our policy position, he's not a member of the African National Congress.
Oh yes.
Throughout years, we have adopted these positions. So if free education is our policy, comrades, Whether there are no resources, I'm sure government will try its best working with you. So you must hold each other, one another's hand, and forward you must move. We will actually go to Wits, we will go to UJ, we'll go to Free State University, we go throughout the country and check that your demands are genuine. I know what is happening even in UJ. I was talking to one of the SRC leaders who was studying politics, and this year he wanted to study honors in politics. They say, no, it is fool. You can go and do African studies. How do you study your junior degree and you study politics, and when you want to do your honors, you are told that, no, study African studies. You must choose your path and career. You must do relevant things so that we transform the economy of this country. So, to those comrades and all of you, and the ANC wanted to say, the National Working Committee of the ANC, we sympathize and we want to pass our condolences to the man and the family.
We're listening to the ANC Secretary General speaking to us outside the Luthuli House in Johannesburg, where students from Wits, along with other members of the ANC Youth League and other workers.
And we will respect our policemen and women, and they must understand that in South Africa we have fought their rights. You have a right to march. Yes. You have a right to come up with your demands. You have a right to associate with anybody. You have a right of speech. And these rights are enshrined. When people say we must respect the Constitution, they forget about it. Millions of our people during COVID have been retrenched. So parents of those poor kids who had money last time, they don't have money now. Millions of them are out of work. The middle class today, they can't even afford their houses, their cars. They have their bonds, and they are taking their children to school. This is where government is supposed to come in terms of free basic education, in terms of free education for all. Long live the student struggle, long live. For us students, you must unite. There is no EFF, there is no ANC, there is no SAMCO, there is no student command. You are students, and all political parties have expressed shock in terms of the killings yesterday. Aluta continua. Never be demoralized. Never be demoralized. The struggle continues. Long live. Congress, long live. Long live.
That was the ANC Secretary General speaking outside Luthuli House after getting the memorandum of demands from the students. He responded to the students saying that the ANC as a ruling party has met with the working committee as well as the ANC and the president, and that the demands of the students will be met. The students are now planning to move from the Luthuli House to Constitutional Court. That's it for me for now. Back to you in studio.
Thanks very much, Hasina Gori, reporting there outside ANC, the Luthuli House, where the ANC Secretary General Ace Magashile received a memorandum of demands from Wits University students who want their demands met. And he says that the ANC has urged government to find funds to help them out. Well, that's